The Taliban has intensified its nationwide offensive across Afghanistan, threatening to seize 3 major cities, including the provincial capital of Helmand Province, where British forces had for several years provided security. Afghan government troops have been struggling to contain the militants after the announcement that most of the US-led foreign forces in the country would be leaving next month. 455 British military personnel died in Afghanistan, along with tens of thousands of Afghans. The Taliban is on the verge of overrunning the city of Lashkar Gah in the south, and there's fierce fighting in Kandahar and Herat in the west. Our chief international correspondent Lyse Doucet has the very latest from the capital, Kabul.
Lashkar Gah, Helmand, the peace roundabout, now overrun by Taliban. They say this square is theirs. The centre of a city once patrolled for years by British troops. Afghan special forces, trained by Britain and other NATO armies, are rushing in. This video is from the Afghan Ministry of Defence. The battle intensifies on the ground and on social media. 35-year-old General Sami Sadat is the commanding officer in this southern area. He says the Taliban have suffered hundreds and hundreds of losses, but his forces have lost most rural areas. It's much the same across Afghanistan. Now the Taliban are bent on seizing the cities. This war is being waged street to street. On one of them, the family of Jamal Barak, a former interpreter for the British Army, now in the UK.
People are stuck at their homes. They cannot go outside. There's no electricity. There's no food. People will die without food, without water. And the Taliban literally walking the streets and looking for the people who have worked for the Afghan government and for the British government, and we haven't heard anything positive from the British government at the moment, and we are hoping that they will do something very soon. Otherwise, these people are going to lose their life.
All the beds are full at this hospital in Helmand, run by the emergency NGO. More beds being brought in. Hundreds of thousands are on the run. Look at the way these children are moving across the fields in the western province of Herat. The crackle of gunfire, all too close. But civilians are also standing their ground. This man is said to be the head of Herat's provincial council. Don't waste your bullets, he says. Take careful aim. And old warlords are back too to take on the Taliban. White-bearded Commander Ismail Khan fought Soviet forces in the 80s, Taliban in the 90s. We're doing our best to suppress the enemy so they can't enter the city, he says. I call on the people to support us, especially those who are armed, to resist the terrorists. But the Taliban are at their strongest since their defeat nearly 2 decades ago after the US-led invasion. It's a moment of reckoning for Afghan forces, a moment of risk for the very future of Afghanistan.
Lyse Doucet reporting for us there from Kabul.